Good morning. Good Friday, guys. If you're fortunate enough to have today off, then make sure that you take the time to be thankful for the things that you have and honor this day as it was meant to be. Those of you that are serving today and working today, do it with all your best intentions. And so for some of you, you're wondering, what is Freestyle Friday? Well, Freestyle Friday is what happens when I don't actually have a topic picked out for the day. So, Freestyle Friday. That's what you get. Alright, so one of the fun things about going live is that there's always some issues that happen, that occur, and this morning I forgot my Facebook device, so I'll be right back. That was a weird noise. That's new. So I've committed to doing this every Friday morning, and well, not just every Friday morning. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as long as I am here. The only two that I've missed so far is when I was down in Austin, and of course I didn't have things set up for me to do it down there. Plus, the training I was in, there was no time. That training went, well, I shouldn't say it. There's always time, and I did get exercise in. I just didn't do it live. So again, Freestyle Friday is when I don't have a topic to talk about, and we're just gonna wing it, which happens. Man, I don't like that noise. You hear that? That's not cool. That is not cool. I don't want to do that either. So, one of the things when you guys go live, if any of you actually go through this, is things don't always go as planned. Things don't always work the way you'd like them to. And that's just it. You know, just part of the game. How do I sound on Facebook this morning, though? That would be my first question, because that was an issue last time, and I think I fixed the problem with my microphone. But how are things sounding this morning? Is it coming across clear or not? I guess I could always turn the volume up on this and find out. Oh. So there's the delay. Sounds like it's working. Good morning, my mother. So those of you that are following the story or saw my live on Facebook here a little bit ago, my mother had fallen, and she injured her arm and broke her arm in several places, sounds like, and she also hurt her knee. So she's been in the hospital since it happened, and now she's in a recovery home, trying to heal for the next month or two. So things are going good. That's her on there right now, so if you want to give her some kind words, that would be awesome. So a lot of you probably are sleeping in today, so I'm okay with that. That's totally fine. If you get on here after the live, you can go ahead and just put hashtag replay, so I know that you watched it afterwards, and rock on. So it's been a fairly eventful week for me, and kind of recapping some of that. I reached out, I was asked to reach out to one of the leaders in one of the companies I'm working with, and they wanted my opinion on a project they're working on, and I gave them my absolute honest opinion, which included criticism with some of the things that I thought they could do better, and really with the intention of helping them. And that turned into a 30-minute conference call to discuss it further, and that ended with an offer for me to help train this mastermind class and to help be involved in that. And that course will be live. It will be coming up shortly, and then it will also be available for sale after the fact. So we'll be doing live training with participants, talking about mindset, getting your mind right. For those of you that aren't sure what mindset is, it's really just, getting you past you is the way I always look at it, and helping you achieve the goals that you have in front of you. And in some cases, focusing you in on those goals so that you're not all over the place. And so that master class will be done over the next few weeks and will be available to purchase sometime after that. And so that was awesome. What an honor, and how that happened, I guess, just to kind of give you some inspiration to take risk, because for me the risk was this. This is a high-level leader. This is somebody that has stood in front of a room in front of me, and so I could have looked at him as being somebody I could have looked at it like, well, why would he want my opinion? Because he wasn't real clear on what he was asking for. His real question was, how do you think the webinar went? And I had a decision to make when he asked that question. It would be to just be a fan and say, great, you're awesome, you're amazing, or to give him my honest opinion, which included some criticisms along with suggestions on how to do things a little bit better. Comes further, in those weren't just like feeling opinions, those are technical opinions. So some skill sets that I have technically, I was able to tell him some things that made him want to know more, and then of course that led to this pretty cool opportunity. So that was awesome. And we picked up a couple more coaching clients, I picked up a couple more coaching clients this week. And so I'm excited about working with those individuals to help them grow their business and to get a little bit better at marketing their business online. And so that's exciting. I finalized working on a little bit better of a scheduling and calendar system so that people can pick what time works for them. And so that's made things a lot easier for me. I have my schedule put out there, my available times that I can meet with people, and then I can handle that system a couple different ways. I can offer you a couple of different times to get on the phone, or I can just send you a link to the calendar and you can pick what works best for you. And so I think that's been great for not only my clients that I work with, for them, but it's obviously been great for me too. A little bit of a learning curve on that. So if you use a calendar system, make sure that you're scheduling in your responsibilities also. And so if you have certain things you have to do, such as pick up your children or attend a meeting or anything like that, that may not be directly related to your business, make sure that you schedule those things in so that so it's not a problem for those people that are trying to work with you. If I was busy from, let's say, 2 to 3 tomorrow, because I had to go to a sporting event of my daughter's, then I need to make sure that that's scheduled in, or else somebody's going to try to book that time for a coaching session. And so that was just a little bit of a learning curve. And of course, the other piece of that is you also have to not just book in the time of the event, but you have to book in your travel time, your expected travel time too. So all seems kind of normal, but every time you go into a new system, you've got to play around with it and figure out, you know, how it works and how it's going to best serve you and your clients. And so I've been excited about that. If anybody needs a system that they think would help them, this particular one is going to be, this one is free. So you can use this particular system for free as a scheduler. The only drawback of using the free version of it is that you can only have one event type. And so you may not know what that means, but let's say that you know, for me, I do different types of strategy sessions. So I will do a 15-minute strategy session where we just go through, like, we just get right into it, and we already know why we're why we're talking. So there is no real discovery time, and so it's just a quick 5-question, you know, answer deal, and then we schedule more time to get together. But it gives me a chance to really understand, you know, what direction we need to take and what services I may be able to offer you, or at least possible trainings that I may be able to suggest to you. So that's kind of the down and dirty. And then there's another 30-minute discovery session where we take the first 15 minutes, you know, honing in on, you know, what's your business, who are you, who's your target audience, and then of course we still go through the 5 questions. And then of course we have the 1-hour working sessions, so the 60-minute sessions where we're actually working and I'm coaching and training somebody. And so I have, you know, I personally have more than that, but for the sake of the example, I have 3 different session types in that calendar. So I have to pay for that service. If you want to use it for free, then you just got to pick what your time is, or what kind of, you know, time of session you want to have. And, you know, if let's say it's, you know, every client you spend 30 minutes with, well, I would actually probably still do a 60-minute session just to get yourself ready and give yourself time in between sessions. And so you would probably pick a 60-minute session if you plan on speaking for 30, and you can explain that to your clients that the only reason that you're booking out the full 60 minutes is because sometimes they run over, and you use that as time to prep for your next meeting. So you can use it for free. This particular program that I use actually also ties to your calendars. And they use multiple different calendars out there that you already use. Mine is tied to my Google account, my Gmail account. So for me that works. But if you have Outlook calendar or tons of other ones, your Apple calendar, whatever that's called, you know, they have that set up so it integrates also with your calendar, and that just keeps your life straight. And so, like I said, I use my Gmail calendar, and of course I schedule in different types of events, and you can take all of your different calendars within your calendar and make those they're not visible to anybody else, so you don't have to worry about that. So I know that's a concern for some of my clients that, you know, they scheduled in their pedicure and in their calendar, and they don't want anybody to know that that's what they're doing, you know, from 12 to 1. It doesn't show anybody what you're actually doing, you know, so when they're scheduling through this specific program, it doesn't show them what you're doing. It just shows that you're not available. So awesome program. If anybody wants more information on what I use, just send me a message and we'll talk, and I'll explain to you why I use it and how I came about finding it and how it integrates and how it's made my life a little bit easier, and give you a few pointers of what to look, what to do immediately to make sure that you set it up properly. It also has another feature. I guess I was going to end it there, but it also has another feature which allows you to actually, if you pay for the service, you can actually set up it as a payment portal. So if you're a coach and you've been trying to figure out how you're going to get paid to have these conversations with people, it actually has that integration also. And of course there's more and more integrations too, and we won't bother too much going into all of that. So I do apologize, there is a bit of a distraction on today's video, I just noticed, and again, it's the fun of going live. If you don't think something's going to go wrong, you are wrong. It will go wrong. Something will happen. So this is kind of funny. So those of you that don't know what a green screen is, that's what's behind me right now. And so that's what allows me to look like I'm inside of the video. And for me, I think it's more visually appealing to do it this way. But if you don't set it up right, you get this. And so what that is the corner of the green screen. And that's kind of funny. So if you're wondering what's going on, if it's on your screen and you're trying to, trying to wipe it off right now, like, oh, I gotta find it. You're trying to clean that thing. I can't even get to it, never mind. You're trying to clean that thing off right now. It's not your screen. It's definitely me being a little bit behind schedule this morning. For a great reason, by the way. My father called me this morning and just caught up on things, and he was interested in what I'm doing and wanted to understand it a little bit more. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I've been helping people probably all the way along it. Once I learn something, if I think it's of value to somebody, I give it away. But only recently have you guys started seeing me here on Facebook, on my own personal channel, going live. And that is a result of going to Austin and getting that amazing coaching session that I received. And I just noticed something else here. That's not what I wanted. Oh, okay, we're good. That's not good. I'm going to have to actually, this is my trainer. If you hear that noise in the background, that's actually my trainer. And I don't know why it's making that noise. So that's a little concerning, but not like too big of a deal. But that's a little concerning. I'm going to have to take a look at that this weekend and make sure that there's nothing going wrong, because it shouldn't be making that noise. I may have to take it into one of the shops and see if they can take a look at it for me, but take it back to the shop that I bought it at, because it shouldn't be making that noise. But anyway, so yeah, I got on the phone this morning and talked to my dad, and he's doing great. He just wanted to know what was going on. Of course, he gave me some dad advice also, which I appreciate. Don't know if I'm going to listen to him, but I appreciate him giving it the old Boy Scout try. Just trying to shove me down the road that he wants me to go down. Again, Freestyle Friday, we're just going to talk about whatever the heck comes to my mind. If you guys got something you want to talk about, throw it out there. And, we've got another, where's the thing? We got over 40 minutes to go. So if you got something that's interesting to you, let's talk. But last night on my Facebook Live, it was literally supposed to be about 15 minutes, and it turned into a 15-minute, session. And we talked about not quitting. And the point of that particular video was that, there was a lot of people. There was 30 participants. Sorry. Excuse me, guys. there were 30 participants in our workshop down in Austin. And for a lot of us, you know, we've been hiding behind our businesses for a long time. And what I mean by that is that, you know, you do blogs and you don't really tell, people don't see who you are, or you do advertisements, which consist of, you know, visual graphics and nice, fancy, fun words and all of these things called copyright. And so we're not putting ourselves out there. We're kind of hiding behind the product, service, or opportunity, and we're not following these other rules that we all know. And so they forced us out of our comfort zone, and they made us start experimenting with the idea of going live specifically on Facebook. Now, it wouldn't have to just be there. You could do this anywhere. Whatever platform you chose, you could go to YouTube, which we're on right now too, by the way. You know, you could go to Twitch, which is more of a gaming platform, but if that's where your target market is, then there's ways to go there. And if you're not sure how to do them all at once, be another reason you might want to send me a message and see if we can work together on that. I can help you for sure. So, sorry, I'm just reading some of the messages. So that is one of the challenges when you do go live, especially when you're using multiple platforms. You've got to manage all of those messages. And so I do have something set up. So my current weight, great question. That just popped up, as you can all see on the screen. I stopped weighing myself, so I don't know. I stopped weighing myself a couple of weeks ago, and I'll tell you that I feel amazing. And it's not that I don't have the goal to get down to my target weight of 244 pounds. It is that weekly weigh-in was because I wasn't having the success that I wanted to have, and that I was still working with my doctors on medications and things that are going, you know, that I have to take, or at least need to take for now. It was becoming mentally too discouraging for me, and so I realized I still have to do this activity. I still have to get on the bike. I still have to work out. I still have to do all these things, even if I'm not getting the exact result I want. And so I chose to stop weighing myself because the results were actually making me want to quit. It was making me mentally not enjoy the ride, to use a pun. So I'm not weighing myself. I have no idea what I weigh. I know that this is still all part of the journey. I've been through this before, so I know the results will happen. They may not be exactly what I wanted in the beginning, but I will have positive results, and I've already had positive results. So from a blood work standpoint, things are going pretty good. You know, my cholesterol, my blood sugar, my blood pressure, all of those things were out of control a year ago, as a result of me overeating for the purpose of being a power lifter. You know, not professionally or not in competition, but that was the easiest way to explain how I was working out. And so overeating was allowing me to be stronger, and being stronger was my positive reinforcement for continuing to do the things that I was doing, and my ego was feeding that activity. And so that just turned into all those things going out of whack. And so over the last year, we've been working on, my doctor and I have been working on trying to get those things under control. Unfortunately, we are using medication to do that. But I didn't start seeing positive results from my blood work until I started doing cardio. And my version of cardio is this, primarily. I mean, not primarily. It's right now it's getting warm out, so there's more than just this. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm online here and doing my deal. So I don't know what my weight is. So that was a long answer to a simple question, but I have no idea. So, but I appreciate the question. I'll get on here. I'll weigh myself eventually again. but it's not serving me to do that right now, and so I don't want to quit. I don't want to get myself discouraged, and so I am just going along for the ride. You know, taking action, doing the things that it's going to take to be healthy. One thing I have learned, not that I didn't know this 20 some years ago, or probably longer than that now, when I graduated from university, and I actually have a degree in sports sciences. So it's not that I didn't know this, but one thing that cardio does do is it actually helps with your cholesterol. It helps with a lot of things. It's a catalyst for a lot of your systems to actually work properly, but specifically for cholesterol, you can actually improve your good cholesterol level just by doing cardio. And so that gives me a little more purpose to do this, even like when I don't want to. Even this morning, my alarm is set for 5:30 a.m. And let's see, I hit snooze 3 times. So not good. Not a great example, but some days you just got to do it, you know. Some days you just got to hit snooze. And so I wasn't feeling great. I can tell you that I have to be very careful right now as it relates to my diet, because I'm not weighing myself. I find myself not putting a priority on every meal, so I think it allows me to mentally think I can cheat more than I should. And so I try to eat pretty good every day, all day, but lately I've been letting the outside forces of evil influence my decisions. And so my coworkers say, hey, you want an easy burger? It's not a real thing, but you want an easy burger, or do you want a super shake? Not the good kind. And I found myself saying yes more than once. And so I got to fight through that a little bit. What's interesting, because of my type 2 diabetes issues, which is mostly caused by weight, I end up feeling like shit pretty damn fast. So this morning when I woke up, that was part of why I was snoozing, hitting the snooze button. I definitely ate way too many carb type foods yesterday, sugars and things, and I wasn't feeling good when I woke up. And I'm starting to recognize that it has everything to do with what I eat. And I will tell you, one of the new medications they put me on last week to try to help me was terrible. So I only took it for a couple of days, and I had to stop it. And it changed something inside me, even though I only took it for 2 days, so a total of 4 pills. It changed something. It made me tired. I mean, it instantly, those 2 days, made me very tired, dangerously tired. I was falling asleep at the wheel. So that was why I stopped taking it. And what this particular drug does is it actually lowers your blood sugar. Well, for me, it was lowering it so much that I was, on the verge of, well, I say falling asleep. You can call it whatever you want. But it wasn't good, so I had to stop. I stopped it. But ever since then, my cravings and things like that have changed a little bit, and so I've got to reset everything. I probably should do a little bit of a fast for a couple of days. So if I don't, I'm on, yes, metformin's one of them, but that's not the one that did it. I don't have the bottle in front of me. You know what, guys? I told you I was going to tell you what it was, and I've told you this a couple rides now, and I haven't. So it's right here. So we'll get it, so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And so even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can be a Google expert and look it up. Nothing wrong being a Google, well, there is, but I'll say there's nothing wrong being a Google expert, because I am too. But I'm a Google mechanic, I can tell you, my mechanic friends that are close to me know that. I'm a Google mechanic, and I'm a Google a lot of things. Or you could say I'm a YouTube mechanic. Alright, it is called glipizide. Glipizide. So, powerful drug. And probably great for a lot of people. Not for me. That son of a gun worked too well. And it's a slow acting drug. And so it's not something you notice immediately. But for me personally, it was about 6 hours in both days. So I think I took my first one Friday night. And then Saturday, you take them twice a day. So Saturday morning, Saturday late afternoon, Sunday morning, and I think that was it. That's all I took. Because Sunday, I dropped my girls off at their mother's house at about, 3 or 4 o'clock. So driving back home after that was probably around 6 hours or so after I took this pill. And this happened on Saturday too. I was getting really tired on Saturday too, but not to the point of this. Like, we didn't go anywhere, so there was no example for me to give. But Sunday on the way back home, which is about an hour drive, I literally fell asleep 3 times driving and couldn't recognize what the hell was even going on until I got home. And because of course my endorphins were everything was, I was like, holy shit, I fell asleep. And you wake up, you know how that happens when you start to doze off. And it wasn't until I got home and could kind of calm myself down and realize what was causing it, because it was 2 days in a row that I was feeling very, very tired. And so, and actually, now I think about it, Friday night I felt tired pretty early, but it was, by the time we got back to the house last week, it was probably, all right, man, have a good day at work, bud. It was probably 9 or so o'clock, and I was just dozing off, so I thought it was just because I woke up early and had a long day and might have had a little more stress than I wanted. But it wasn't. It was this new drug I was on. So anyways, it's a very long story to say I'm not taking it anymore. But I've got to reset my body, and so this week's been a little bit tough as it relates to that. But instantly on Monday, when I stopped taking it, I wasn't tired anymore. But I noticed my cravings for different food, bad food, carbs really, was very high. So I felt like I had to have sugar. And so, this week wasn't so good. Simply said, it wasn't so good. Anyway, so finishing up the story from last night, I had this group of people I was in Austin with, and we were all given this assignment to, to start doing Facebook Lives on our personal pages instead of hiding behind our business pages and, a lot of the other marketing things that we were doing. And I've done enough of these that I'm pretty comfortable with it, and I've got some pretty rock solid methods to help get people comfortable without them actually being on their own personal page doing a live video. And so that's part of why I'm comfortable doing this. But I started to notice there were 30 of us in that training, and I started to notice that, of the 30, not only maybe half of them really started doing taking on this part of the challenge. And but I started noticing that it was less than 2 weeks, and I just stopped seeing them take action. And I know why. I can see their data somewhat, being the nerd that I am. And I could see they weren't getting the views. And so I was sure that they were discouraged by that. And so that was really what last night's message turned into, because I poked a few of them, like, hey, hope you're doing well and haven't seen you on video lately. And just to let them know I'm watching, not as a, like, an overseer, like what I, just to make sure they know somebody's watching, that their information is important. They have an audience, even if it's just me. And so I wanted to teach them, or give them not teach them, but kind of give them that encouragement that to just keep going. That even when it seems like nobody's paying attention, there's always somebody paying attention. And to remind them that not everybody is going to be their audience. And so, but there's somebody that really needs them. And to remind them that it's not just about them. There's somebody out there that really needs to hear their message and what they have to say and what they have to offer and the value that they're giving. And so just to keep going. And I am fortunate to have had the experience back in 2012, 13, and 14 where I had this, physical transformation where I lost all of this weight and eventually ended up being part of the company that provided those products. And of course, then I had a whole different dynamic where, in essence, I was selling products for that company, even though that wasn't my title. And what I found over time was that even people that reached out and said no in the beginning, once I told them what I was doing, they're like, oh, I can't do that, or okay, that's not what I thought it was, and I'm not interested. A lot of those would show up a year later, or 2 years later even, and say, okay, I'm ready. And every single one of those conversations had this component in it, which is, I've been watching you this whole time. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it would last. And now that we've been into this for a year or two, on this journey watching each other, or me watching you, okay, I guess it does work and I'm ready. And so I know through experience that people, even if they're not taking action, they're watching. There's these kind of, this golden rule when it comes to attraction marketing, and that is they have to get to know, like, and trust you. And they're not going to get to know you if you're just blasting your company products all over the place. If you're just putting links out to your, I'm going to use network marketing as an example. If you're just putting links out to your weight loss deal and you're not having a real conversation with those individuals, yeah, you might get a couple people to buy, but you're just spamming them. You got to get to, they need to get to know you. They have to get to trust you, or they have to get to like you. So the information, what does like mean? Like means that you're their person, right? Everybody else is selling, let's say, hemp oil or CBD oil, and when they start to like you, they're getting to know you. The information might even be similar to somebody else's, but now they're getting to like you because you speak to them better than anybody else. And that could be anybody out there, be honest with you. And only then are they going to be willing to at least look to the solution. But now you have to engage with them before you even get into that sales side of things. And if you don't follow that formula, you're going to fail. And a lot of you are failing. And I know you're failing because you keep just putting links up to your product. And that doesn't work. I know it doesn't work because I was you years ago. Even when I was my most successful, even when people would engage with me, I didn't do a whole lot of real engagement. I did zero coaching, and that's what a lot of them wanted. I just gave you the link. This is what I did. Do it. And I didn't offer anything else. And so I kind of left them hanging, and in most cases disappointed. And so for me, that's part of my story, and that allows me to help other people not make some of those same mistakes. On the flip side to it, following this action plan of build, engage, and then offer a solution to a problem, that's changed everything. Now the people that I help, first of all, the people that I work with are people that are ready, not just anybody who's curious. It's people that see the value in what I'm offering and they want me to help them. So that's huge, right? As far as having the engagement, that's just a real conversation, and then we find out if it's, if I have a solution to whatever pain you have. If it's not getting enough leads or sales, and I have a solution to that, which I do, then I can offer that. And as far as the sales side of it, because we followed this process, the sales side of it's easy. I mean, there's no question. If they see the value and I have a solution, then if there's a sale to be made, which isn't my goal, by the way, but if there happens to be a sale and that to be made, or just a coaching opportunity to actually help them for a period of time, then that offer can be made, and it's usually not too big of a deal. It really isn't. But it's because I followed these steps. And by the way, not everything is a sale. If your goal is to make a sale, you're gonna fail. I've spent the last 5 years in the most challenging sales environment that anybody can be in. And I've always maintained my integrity in how I've done things. But one of the foundations of my sales technique is that, and it's real, is that I don't care if I make a sale. I want to provide a value. I want to provide great information. I want to make sure that they're only purchasing if they're ready or if it's good for them. And if it's not, I'll tell them it's not. I'll tell them I'm not the best deal in town if that's the truth. I'll tell them that maybe they need to do a few things to get ready before they take on this purchase. And so, because I've always done that, I've done better in sales than most people because I don't have any pressure on myself to make the sale. And so I don't push anything on anybody. I make suggestions, offers, make sure they know what's available, and then they can decide if it's right for them. And so that's a different approach than I watch most people make, especially when they're trying to go online and market. Everybody's so desperate. I feel like people are desperate to earn money that they don't take the time to build their audience or engage with that audience. And it's such a huge, huge, huge mistake. It doesn't mean that you can't recover from it. You can start taking the steps to fix that brand being you, but it's definitely going to take time. And I think that what I've learned is that getting somebody to help you along the way that's been there before, I call it a coach or coaching, probably because I come from the sports world. I think that just, gets you there faster, from point A to point B much faster than just trying to wing it. And I can tell you guys already know this. I mean, how many of your friends, and again, I'm using network marketing as the example, but how many of your friends are in network marketing and they just throw up their opportunity in front of you, right? All they're doing is posting links and before and afters and all of this horse shit. How many of them are doing that? And to the point where you're like, I love you, but man, I can't follow you. By the way, most of my friends have done that over the years, and so because I've done it wrong. And then you stop seeing me for a few years while I kind of put this master plan together of how I needed to change so that I'm better serving other people. One of the things that I realized was that I made it about me, right? I made it about what I need, what I want. And even though I don't know that I was saying that, I think that was the intention that people felt. And so that eliminates the opportunity for trust. That makes people not trust you because they'll see that even though you're trying to help them, you're more interested in, let's say, the sale than you are what happens to them. You know, you're not interested in their well-being, and they can see through that. So when you offer an opportunity, you know, or a sale before they're ready for it or before they've even asked for it, you're going to lose them. I've got some $1 million companies that have pitched me, and before they even get to know me, which means they haven't really engaged with me, they're offering a solution with a high-ticket sales item. It doesn't work, and it sure doesn't work on me. So if it doesn't work on me, why would I expect it to work on you? And so I would say that if there's an action item for anybody that's trying to market their business online right now, and again, I'll use network marketing because there's so many of you out there. Here's an action item for you. I want you, and this might take you a long time, took me a long time, I want you to go through your personal, we're going to use Facebook, I want you to go through your personal Facebook page, and I want you to look at every link, every picture, everything that you've got, every post you've made, and go back to the beginning of when you started doing these things, and I want you to delete them. If it has a link to the company that you represent, I want you to delete those. I want you to delete the post. I want you to delete the pictures. I want you to delete the before and afters. I want you to rid yourself of everything related to that company. Everything. Get rid of it. 100%. See you later. Now, don't quit your company. I'm assuming you love your company. I assume you love your products. I hope you love your products or service that you're offering. But get rid of it. Or if you're just in the business opportunity side of things, you're just a business builder, everything. Get rid of it all. 100%. Hasta la vista. See you later. Get rid of every single thing you have related to that product. And even myself, I may have to go back and, you know, the Facebook timeline little thing where it pops up memories, you know, every so often one will pop up that I missed. But that would be your first action step. Once you've done that, get a hold of me, and we'll get started on step 2. But step 1, get rid of that nonsense. It is not helping you. It is 100% not helping you. In the big picture, you are pigeonholing yourself into something that you may not be able to get out of. And I can promise you this, people don't trust you because you've offered them something that they didn't ask for. And so they don't want to see it, and they're seeing it from everybody else. You want to stand apart from everybody else? I'll help you get there. There is a way to do this. There's a way to do it right, with integrity, to make yourself the authority in whatever it is that you have a passion to provide and the value that you can give. So step 1, delete everything. And it's going to hurt because you may not trust me yet. But if you've gotten to the point where you know who I am and where I come from and how my journeys went for over 20 years now, just do it. It's going to start the process of changing your life to where you actually have a chance of being successful of marketing your business online. And so there's another bombshell I'm going to throw at you, which is if you're in network marketing, you don't have your own business yet. You don't understand that, I'm sure, because you've been told you do, but you really don't. And so that's going to be part of this transformation that I'm trying to make for you guys. But step 1, delete everything related to that company or product or anything. Other people's transformations, get rid of all of it. 100%. See you later. And then get a hold of me. And we'll go on to step 2. And so just send me a message. Just tell me that you've done step 1 and you're ready for step 2. And we will start working on it. It'll make all the difference in the world. Don't believe me? Look at the top leaders out there. Tell me what company they represent. And I'm not saying the top leaders in your company because they're probably doing it wrong too. And they're probably lying to you about how successful they really are. And trust me, I've been fooled too. by friends that have been claimed to be successful, have paid to be put in articles and papers and websites. Just nonsense. So just take step one. Take step one and let me know when you did it, and we will get you over the hump. And then if you're just getting started, you know, this is another thing. When you get into network marketing, when you're just getting started, one of the first things that happens is that, you know, you're given this playbook. And I'd say 99% of the companies out there have a very similar playbook. And it goes something like this. Build your list. Start writing down all of your friends and family. Get their phone number and start calling them. Well, that might not be how you got there. Like, think about it. Did you get a phone call from whoever you joined? Is that how you got started? Chances are it isn't. Chances are you probably signed up online somehow. You saw them, you watched them, they built their audience, you were part of that, you started to trust them, and then you finally made the decision to do something. Unless you already had that trust and maybe they did make a quick phone call and you just jump into everything they say to do, there are those people out there that you trust. So now you've got this list of people that you're supposed to call, and you're like, I don't want to do this. I didn't sign up for this, and I don't want to call my sister, you know, and ask her if she'll, you know, start drinking my super mushroom coffee because she doesn't like coffee. What the hell would I call her for? You know? And then of course, they always have an answer, right? They're like, well, don't offer the coffee, just tell her what the great business opportunity is. If you're normal, you're probably thinking, well, why would my sister want to join a business opportunity for a product she doesn't like? Again, so if you're that person and you're like, God dang it, man, there's got to be a different way, a better way. There is. There actually is a different way. And so you've probably already started trying to figure out how to online market, and your method of doing so is just blasting your damn link everywhere and putting somebody else's results out there. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I would love to tell you it does. It doesn't, and so you will fail, and then you'll quit, and then you'll miss out on the opportunity to help hundreds, maybe even thousands of other people have success themselves. And so remember this little rule, that it really isn't about you. Your journey is important. The mistakes you make are important because they help you, you know, relate and tell stories. People that just are successful right out the gate, you know those people, you've got friends like that they always seem to land on their feet and everything seems to be great and wonderful, and their names are Barbie and Ken. Hey, you know, even they can't help. They provide zero value, by the way. People that are always successful and they never have the bumps in the road, they never have issues come up, they don't go broke, they don't go bankrupt, they don't live homeless, they don't, you know, they've never had shit happen to them. Those people bring no value to the table. And they have a ceiling that they'll never get past. Because for them, even though they give this appearance of always being great, they're not providing value, and they'll hit this ceiling because the real world won't follow them anymore. So they'll never really truly make it, and they won't truly be impacting people. Matter of fact, they'll be repeating things that are not duplicatable, and so I kind of don't worry about those people too much. It is called attraction marketing. This is part of what I help teach people. But that doesn't mean it's attractive marketing. And because my buddy Mike is on right now, he'll attest and tell you I am not attractive. So if it was attractive marketing, I'd be screwed. Right, Mike? So, again, action item step 1, delete all of your stuff. If you represent a network marketing company, and again, I'm just using you guys as an example, but I want everybody to look at this. If you're just blasting their stuff everywhere, and that's your method of marketing, and I promise you it isn't working, you might get 1 or 2 people. that already know and trust you, that already like you. You know, you might get a couple, but you're not going to build a business doing it that way. And you might even make a couple $1,000s a month because of the excitement you bring, because you're so excited about this new thing. But can you live on $2,000 a month? That's great. You're better than most people. You know, you're better than most people out in the network marketing world if you're earning $2,000 a month. But can you live on $24,000 gross a year? Is that going to change your life? Is that going to be a dream? You know, is that going to be part of the way you achieve your dream? No. You don't have to answer that. I already know the answer. It's not. So if you have this idea that you're building this second income, this potentially passive income, it doesn't happen if you don't follow these rules that I've put in front of you. You have to build your audience. You have to engage with your audience. And you only can sell to them once you've done the first two things. And you aren't selling to them. You really are only offering solutions. And so what you offer isn't for everybody. And by the way, your network marketing company is not going to tell you this. They're going to tell you that what you have to offer is for everybody. And any of you that have been in the network marketing game for a long period of time have heard this before. Those of you that have never been in it won't know what the heck I'm talking about. But any of you guys that have been in the game for a long period of time, you've heard of the 3-foot rule, right? So anybody within 3 foot of you is a prospect. That is crazy talk. And that might work for crazy people, but I would hope that most of my friends aren't crazy people. So don't do it. You know, don't be sitting in Walmart and turn around to the closest person to you and say, hey, you interested in selling essential oils? Look how successful I am here in Walmart. And potentially while they're standing next to the essential oil cart or rack. It doesn't work. It's weird. You know, I love my weird friends, but don't be weird. It won't help you. Now, if you want to start striking up brand new conversations and be truly interested in people and start working on your interpersonal skills, okay, that might not be the worst thing to do, but that doesn't mean you offer anything to them. If all you're interested in is making a sale and making them not buy the product from Walmart, it's probably not gonna work. Now you could have a conversation. And again, I'm picking on the essential oil people because there's a ton of them out there. And by the way, hemp oil people too, because now you guys are the largest, fastest growing demographic in the network marketing space, which isn't necessarily a good thing, by the way. But you could have a conversation with somebody that's in that essential oil aisle and taking a look at things and saying, hey, you know, how long have you been using essential oils? And they'll tell you and say, yeah, I've been doing this myself too. And, you know, what do you like the best and what works for you? And just having that normal conversation with no intention of selling to them, you'll probably get more response and more real personal engagement. You might be able to, you know, exchange contact information and carry on that conversation a little bit longer. They probably, if you do it right, will end up on your being a Facebook friend of yours. And then without you even saying anything to them, they'll start to realize that you're the authority in essential oils. And when they're ready, if they're ever ready, and if you speak to them properly and engage properly, then they may reach out to you for your help. You know, and then you can have the opportunity to see if there's something that you offer is interesting to them. I'll tell you this too, and it's a big mistake that a lot of people make. It's one that I've made in that world. Even if somebody reaches out to you for product, you want to make sure that they're aware that there is a business opportunity. I don't think you should ever lead for that. But sometimes people won't tell you what they're actually engaging with you for. And if you don't at least put that out there, you don't have to spend a lot of time on it. But you, at least at the very end, even if they've made the decision to purchase, let's say, your essential oil, you should at the very least let them know, like, hey, there is a business opportunity. I'm not sure if that's something you're interested in or not, but if you are, let's have a conversation about it. And if they're not, they'll just say, no, I'm not. I like the products. I've been following you for a period of time, and I want to try them. Then you can, then you're done with it. If they say, you know what, actually, I'd like to try the products, and if they work for me, then maybe I will actually promote this. I might be interested in the business. I'm always looking for extra income. Then you can have that conversation. Or they may say, yeah, that's actually why I contacted you. I'm really interested in essential oils and would love to have a business opportunity along with that. Well, then now you just go right into it and you start discussing with them the actual business. And then it still may not be for them. You got to do things the right way. And if you're not sure how to do it, and I can darn near promise most of you don't have the leadership in front of you to help you as far as the upline that you work with, then just reach out if you need my help. Real simple. If you think I can help you, let's do it. But that is enough of that conversation. We're finishing up here. Look at that. I've told people this many, many times. If you're interested in doing what I do here on Zwift and using this as a way to help get your health up and better, and you're not sure how to do it, reach out to me. I'll show you and help coach you along on getting it set up. But for me, it makes the ride so much more doable by streaming it. Like, I don't even realize I've been on the bike for an hour now. And that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to me, at least. So it makes the time fly by. And hopefully I've been providing value to a lot of people. And, that I'm using this opportunity, to help people out. And, it kind of takes care of one of the excuses, to be honest. I don't have enough time. Well, I do have enough time. I just have to multitask. And part of my multitasking is getting on not only to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, but also using the opportunity to share information to people for at least one purpose of them hopefully getting to know a little bit more about me. And I'm able to exercise, which means, Good morning, Mom. I'm able to exercise at the same time. So I'm killing two birds with one stone, if you're into that thing. All right, we're finishing up the ride. So as I always do, it's time to crank it out. Try to hit that 1,000. Yeah! Woo! All right, guys, I appreciate you being here. I love you for staying. If you've been here on the whole ride, drop your favorite emoji down at the bottom. If you watch the whole thing, I appreciate it. I will be back on Monday morning. If you're on Facebook, I'm sure I'll be doing some more lives between now and then. Right now I'm planning on at least doing one Sunday night. And we will see you then. Love you. Have a great weekend. Have a great Good Friday. If you go to church, have a great service. And we will see you probably Sunday night on Facebook and Monday morning on the rest of the channels. Have a great weekend. Have a great Easter. Love you. Peace.